So with the toasted, do you like Marmite on it?
Nah, I'm more of a jam man. I'm more of a jam man on the
Jam rag, yeah.
Yeah, man. Jam with the toast.
I used to be so into the Jamaican culture when I was younger because I mixed with a lot of the people, the blue beat and the ska, and then the reggae people in like Stoke Newington and Dawson and Paddington, and it was a total Jamaican scene. But now it's morphed, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's still, I mean, with reggae, as soon as you say reggae, people just instantly think of Jamaica, and, you know, they kind of forget that the Caribbean, you know, there's a whole load of other islands, there's a whole load of artists. I mean, a lot of the biggest artists, Jamaican, reggae music-wise, they actually live in America. You know, that's where it's really at, and I mean, for them, they're close enough to hop back and forth anyway.
But reggae's kind of gone off the boil a bit. I mean, when you think dubstep, dub was a reggae instrumental thing, and it's taken a dubstep dive.
When you say dubstep, it's more of a dance thing now.
No, I meant that metaphorically.
Oh, okay.
Reggae is like being kicked to the bottom somehow, and it's nowhere near as prominent or popular as it was years ago. In fact, it's almost obscure.
Well, that's how it's kind of with like with the UK hip hop, because there is like, people do kind of separate it. You've got American hip hop and you've got UK hip hop, and what's kind of happened with the UK hip hop scene is it's kind of on the bubble, but then you had the grime music.
Yeah.
Chinchy Strider and
so grime is like basically the English version of.
See, that's how you got a lot of Americans that look on grime as being, you know, the British version of hip hop, but it isn't. It isn't at all.
What's a good name for it though? The cheaper version.
You know, to me, they are completely different musics. You know, it's a completely different way of rhyming. It's a completely different way of rapping. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think there's a kind of similarity in where white guys used to imitate the black blues things in the 60s and then became multi-millionaires like the Stones and the Beatles, Yardbirds, Eric Clapton, all these people? Do you think there's some kind of similarity in the grime guys who imitated the American artists and suddenly become like Monster?
Most definitely, most definitely. You got it there. I mean, what it is with the UK hip hop guys, it's like they're talking about UK things. They're talking about the British way of life. They're talking about things like the gyro. They're talking about things like the riots that just happened in London. They're talking about things that we can relate to. When you listen to American things now, it's like, there might be a man talking about how he's got to shoot this person, shoot that person, how he's got, you know, it's a whole different lifestyle. And with the grime thing, like you just said there, they've kind of adopted this whole American gangster image, say, and they're kind of, you know, and when you're young and we all want to rebel and you like that whole thing of like, well, I want to be bad and stuff. And
I think the American style though is like slightly more musical, because it has all the influences of the soul artists.
Well, I mean,
you know, you got JB, you got Sam Cooke.
What it is, they were first. You know, hip hop music was born in America, so they're always going to be ahead of us. But if you dig deep enough, you will be surprised. There's like some real tight UK artists. You've got Skinny Man, you've got Kalashnikov. You know, I could drop a thousand names. You've got bands like Jest, and when you hear them, they're up to standard with any American artist. It's just they haven't got the promotion of an American artist. They haven't got the big bucks behind them. They've got the small bucks. You know?
But there are a lot of really great tracks coming out of England, and as a person who doesn't quite understand all this music, which is what is which, I can't remember who, but sometimes the lyrics and the tune and the actions and everything work in harmony so well that it's a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah,
you know, and I think good lyrics, not just my baby left me and I'm upset because I'm a spoilt little brat. You know, don't have a wank me. You know, I mean, you don't need songs like that. Songs should have a bit more of a meaning.
I mean, that's what I try and avoid, you know, just that sort of cliche, cheesy shit. You know what I mean? Where, like you just said yourself, where, I mean, on not this album, the second album that I've got in the pipeline, which I'll be releasing sort of February next year, I've got a track on there about being in love. But you know, when people hear that, it isn't your cheesy shit. It isn't like, oh, that. It's straight up, straight from my heart, straight off the cuff. Because when that tune was made and written, it was just a freestyle. So I wrote it there and then.